Hey friends, welcome back to Sudipta's Tarot. This is other Musings, and I'm back again with another tarot reading. One of my subscriber had requested for a much needed tarot reading on a career prospect, career path. So I am back this time, with a reading that's going to focus on the career path. Now in this reading, I have tried to place more focus on your overall career path, what sort of things you need to keep in mind, what sort of things are changing for you whenever you come across this reading, what sort of things you may need to be aware of, certain insights, certain guidances, right? What sort of course correction you may need to do in order to advance further in your career. Right. So these are the kind of things I'm going to cover through this reading. I've tried to make it pretty exhaustive, and I have 5 groups this time in front of you, rather than the usual 4. Also this time, other than the regular tarot and the oracle decks, there is some dedicated affirmation messages for you to further help you and to further provide some key insights. Not only that, I also have this time a bowl of charms, and I'm going to dip into the bowl of charms for every group and see what specific messages, added messages comes out from those bowl of charms. That's just another way to really channelize whatever universe has to say for every particular group in terms of your overall career path and what you can do better, how you can improve yourself, how you can do certain things differently to move ahead. So without wasting any more time, we will jump right into that. But before I do that, again, keep in mind this is a general reading. So despite my best efforts, I may still miss out on certain things. So please forgive me if I do that. And obviously this is a timeless reading. So whenever you come across this reading, hopefully this provides you the specific guidance and the insight that you may have been looking for. So let's move ahead. After I pause, after I stop my introduction, as again the 5 groups with 5 different pictures will be in front of you. All the pictures show different kinds of career path. Whichever one picture or whichever number calls you the most, choose that picture or that number and then move on to your respective group. And I will meet you over there with your specific reading. Hey group 1, for those of you who have chosen the first picture, we are going to see what is waiting for you in terms of your career path, how things are going to shape up for you in the coming days, what tarot is guiding you towards, what you need to be aware of. So we have the tarot spread over here. We also have 2 dedicated affirmation messages for you. And then, as I have mentioned in the introduction, I'm going to also go through some charms over here. Once I'm done with the main reading, I'm going to pull out some charms to see what specific things comes out for you. So without wasting any more time, let's jump right into it. Group number 1. I think group number 1, the message for you right now, is you are at a point, you are at a crossroad right now, and I think you are there are either different possibilities that and you are not sure, you are kind of conflicted at the moment, you are not sure what way to go, what way may or might work best for you, what you need to do at this point of time. Either you may have too many different options, and as generally happens when you are presented with different options, you have a hard time making a decision. And also because there's also the question of balancing out, right? Because just because you have too many different options doesn't mean you can comply with all of them. You can choose all of them, because there is a question of resources, there's a question of financial capabilities, there's a question of your time, your energy, your health, all that's involved, right? So in some of your cases, it's a question of what path or what career option may work best for you from this point onwards, in terms of your availability, your resources, your dreams, your aspirations, right? And in some of your other cases, it's like whatever background or whatever situation you are finding yourself right now, that defines your present, that defines your past. That situation or that career option, or in some of your cases, your workplace may not be very suitable for you. It may be giving you a lot of trouble. So you may be a victim of some sort of harassment in your workplace, right? You may be a victim of some sort of stress, a lot of stress in your workplace, right? Maybe in your workplace, there is no regular hours. Maybe they are overly demanding, right? They may be making you work over the weekends. Maybe the schedule is too tough. Maybe you are facing a lot of competition from your peers, from your colleagues. And maybe there's an overall atmosphere of unhealthy competition in your workplace that is really putting you down, and you are feeling like you are in the wrong place, you don't belong there, right? And so you really want to change, you're really looking for a change, you're really looking for some different option, right? Because I do sense some dissatisfaction over here, right? Because you have the Ace of Cups reversed. And then secondly, you have the Nine of Swords over here, right? And obviously the Chariot card is coming out reversed, right? So there's obviously some sense of dissatisfaction, there's some sense of that lack of fulfillment, where when you're in a perfect working place, where you are doing something that you love, that you are passionate about, you feel that sense of satisfaction, you feel that sense of contentment, which I'm not getting right now, right? Plus I also have this conflict card over here, right? So clearly there may be a lot of conflict, there may be a lot of stress, there may be a lot of tension in your current workplace, a lot of unhealthy competition, a lot of maybe backstabbing going on, and you are really looking for an opening, you're really looking for a different opening, right? And so it's either that, or in some of your cases, as I mentioned earlier, you have different, your workplace may be otherwise okay, right? But it's just that, whatever you are doing right now, it may not be fulfilling your inner aspirations. It may not be fulfilling in your inner thirst, your desire, right? So you want to do something that, you really love, that you really aspire to do, that you're really passionate about, right? So whatever the case is, I feel like, you are at that juncture, right? You are at that crossroad where, you need to make a decision, and you need to also, really think all the pros and cons and be open to new ideas, right? So obviously when you're, in some of your cases, I also feel like when you are thinking of changing, whenever you are at that crossroad, where you are not sure which way to take, and whenever you are about to leave something behind and go for something new, something really uncertain, right? You always feel a little anxious. Now that can be also another reason why you have this Nine of Swords coming up and the Ace of Cups being reversed, right? Over here. Just because right now you're going through that lot of inner conflict, lot of inner turmoil, lot of anxiety, a lot of stress because you are not sure, whether what you are about to do or what you are thinking of doing is going to really work out best for you or not, right? But I would say, because you have the openness card over here, the openness card, right? And you also have the Hermit card over here, right? So definitely when I look at these two cards, it suggests that be open. Don't reject anything. Don't ignore anything, or don't turn a blind eye towards a possibility that may really work out for you in the coming days. So be open to the new possibilities. Be open to the new ideas. Now again, you need to really think all the pros and cons, but at the same time, listen to your inner calling, what you really want to do. Right? Where you want to see yourself like 5 years down the line or 10 years down the line in terms of your overall happiness. Right? Don't just think about money, don't just think about name and fame and all that stuff, because remember one thing, if you're passionate about something, if you're really happy about something, right? If something gives you contentment, right? Inner contentment, then you will get that success. And I see a lot of success over here. But before I go on to success, right? There's a couple of other cards I want to draw your attention to. You also have the get more information. Right? You also have the get more information, plus you have the teaching and learning. Right? When I look at these two cards, plus I pointed out the Hermit card over here. Again, it talks about maybe whatever next you are thinking of doing, you may need to do your homework before you jump onto it, right? And that's not to say that you shouldn't be doing that. It's just that when you take that plunge, when you make that change, right, you should be better prepared. I think what tarot is saying that you should be better prepared, you should do your homework, you should get more information, right? You should be wise, you should plan adequately before you take that jump. And then again, teaching and learning. So obviously in some of your cases you may need to take up new courses to upgrade your skills, right? If you're switching to another profession or switching to maybe a different subject, a different field, you may need to upgrade your skills, right? You may need to take some new courses, maybe do some online certifications, maybe do some online other value addition, something that provides value, right? Something that you can add to your resume, right? So definitely that message is also coming up, right? So and again, there's a possibility waiting for you. There could be more than one possibility waiting for you. Excuse me. And you are certainly being encouraged to think about that, be open to that. You're certainly being encouraged to really take that plunge. But before you take that plunge, just do your due diligence, right? Do whatever course you need to take, whatever learning you may need to do, whatever homework, whatever planning. If you are doing your own private thing, if you're starting your own business, or if you are doing your own small gig, starting your own small gig, right? Do the proper planning, do the proper setup, right? Before you take the jump. But again, the message is you have the openness card over here, plus there's a clear message of following your dreams. So the tarot is strongly encouraging you to follow your dreams, follow your passion, be open, right? Come out of the situation where you are clearly not happy, either because, again, as I've mentioned before, either because your workplace condition is not conducive, or you are not feeling passionate about what you are doing, right? Or you want to move on to something else. Maybe you are feeling bored and you want to move on to something else, whatever it is, right? Clearly, right now you are not happy. So this part largely talks about where you are, right? And this middle is kind of, it's like talks about what you need to be, what should be the change in your attitude as you're looking towards the future. And this part is more about, that what you're going to get if you take that plunge. And it really talks about this success, right? The success card really stands out. And very next to the success card, you have the happiness card, right? Very next to the success card, you have the happiness. So the two of them, the happiness and the success, they really talk about, that overall happiness, overall success, overall abundance, right? So once you are ready to take the plunge, and once you do take the plunge, after having done your proper homework and after having done whatever you need to do, doing your value additions, taking your proper courses, updating your skills, right? You will be happy. You will get success. Right? That's the big message over here. Plus, it talks about inspiration. You have the Lovers card over here. You have the Lovers card over here. Plus, you have the Page of Emotions, or in the normal tarot deck, it will be the Page of Cups. Right? So you have these two cards over here. This again talks about that new inspiration. When I look at the Lovers card, when I look at these blooming lotuses, it talks about that the blooming desires in your heart, the blooming inspiration. So you're following your inspiration, because this card comes, it's right below the follow your dreams, right? So it's like, you have a lot of budding desires, a lot of budding inspirations that you want to, that your heart is really pushing for, for you, is really urging you to follow, right? So if you follow your emotions, your aspirations, if you follow your dreams, if you follow your whatever you feel that genuine love about, then it's going to open the pathway for new sense of fulfillment. It's going to open the pathway for that new sense of happiness. And again, that this Page of Cups, or the Page of Emotion, it basically says the same thing as you see from the Success card or the Happiness card, right? And again, you have this Sacred Temple. The Sacred Temple, this card has come out reversed. So the Sacred Temple really talks about maybe some introspection, right? So this card has come out reversed. That means you need to really ask yourself, are you there? Are you doing the, that level of introspection, that level of homework? Again, it basically re-emphasizes whatever is, is being pointed out by the Hermit card, whatever is being pointed out by this Get More Information card, right? Teaching and learning. All these cards have come out one after another. So go into your inner space. The Sacred Temple is nothing but your inner space, maybe do some soul searching, right? And remember, again, this applies to everything and anything in life, whenever you are trying to make that change, or trying to make that jump from one path to another, from one thing to another. Yes, you will feel anxiety, you will feel stress, but you need to overcome that anxiety and you need to overcome that stress. More important than that is what you should be really doing positive, in terms of positive things that you need to take care of, that you need to keep in mind, and that's going to help you in your onward journey. That's going to really help you once you have made that switch, right? And again, if you're starting for example, if you're starting your own YouTube channel, right? Anything to highlight, maybe your skills or, your artistic abilities or anything, then what sort of things you need to keep in mind, right? Obviously, you will be looking at some of the other famous YouTube channel and the channelers and see what they have done, what you need to keep in mind, how to set up the channel, right? What sort of things you can do to attract more people, stuff like that. Right? And again, if you're starting your own business, small venture, then what sort of things you need to do, keep in mind. Maybe do some market analysis, right? See who are your target audience, target clients. things like that. So for anything, you need to do a little bit of homework, but as long as you have done that homework, there's a strong message, group number one, that you are standing at that crossroad, and whatever you have been doing so far is not serving you in one way or the other, and I've already talked about that at length before, right? So it is time for you to make the switch, and once you have done your part of the deal, take that jump, make that switch. Don't wait for it, don't dilly-dally, be open about the possibilities. Don't ignore the possibilities. Don't get too overwhelmed by anxiety or stress. And that's going to bring in a lot of good for you. Right? That's going to bring in a lot of good for. So whatever is waiting to happen, whatever it is that you are really thinking of doing, go for it. Go for it, because that's going to eventually turn out to be very positive for you, very beneficial for you, right? So now moving on to the affirmation messages, I have two affirmation messages. First of all, I open new doors to life. Again, the same thing. New doors are waiting to be opened for you, right? So new doorways. So you are closing one set of door, one thing, and you're moving on to different thing. I open new doors to life. I rejoice in what I have, and I know that fresh new experiences are always ahead. I greet the new with open arms. I trust life to be wonderful. And again, I think this message gels very well with this openness card that I've already discussed before. Right? So keeping an open mind, warming up to new possibilities, right? Eager to embrace new experiences. That's where, that's what you need to really keep in mind. And the second one I have is, I am totally adequate for all situations. Right? I am one with the power and wisdom of the universe. I claim this power. It is easy for me to stand up for myself. Beautiful message. And I think what comes out over here is, again, I had hinted at this briefly at the very beginning, is that some of you, you could have multiple talents. Some of you, you could have multiple skills, right? That's why it's easy for you, in a way, to make that switch from one thing to another, right? Because, you can handle number of different things in an adequate way. That's why it says, I am totally adequate for all situations. Right. So you are someone who may be very good with multitasking. You are someone who may be very good in self-learning, in picking up new skills. Either you already have the rudimentary knowledge and the perseverance and the inner capabilities. Right. So because of that, you can easily pick up skills, or you already have a lot of different skills inbuilt, a lot of different talents. Right? That's why you can move from one thing to another effortlessly, right? And I think that's for another thing, right? So maybe that's what I had mentioned earlier, is that job-wise, wherever you are, it may be all good, right? But still you want to move on to something else, because what you want to move on to next better aligns with your aspirations, better aligns with your passion, with your heartfelt desire. So that was that. So now moving on to this very focused, this charms messages. I'm going to pick up a few charms, whatever comes up, and let me see if it says anything specific to you. Okay. I have what looks like some sort of a ring. I have this mermaid. I don't know if you can see them clearly. I have the mermaid. I have the owl. And I have the dolphin. Okay, so I think, again, the owl, it talks about wisdom, because when you talk about owls, I'm having a hard time picking it up. When you talk about owl, we talk about wisdom. And again, this goes very nicely with the Hermit card, right? So you need to be wise. You need to carefully evaluate all the pros and cons. And again, I have mentioned this before, do your homework. Certainly, be very vigilant about what you're about to do, what you need to do your part. Be very wise about it, right? Make careful decisions. I also have the Mermaid, right? And when you have this Mermaid, you know what, let me just pick them in my hand. It's much more easier to see the Mermaid and the Dolphin, right? The Mermaid really talks about transformation. You know, I think to me, it talks about transformation. To me, it talks about changing over from one thing to another, right? So I think that's what, you are in that stage. It's like, you are changing from something, your metamorphosis. Your metamorphosis is happening right now. You're changing from one thing to another, right? So moving on from one thing to another, I think that's what this thing is talking, that's what this is conveying to me. With the dolphin also, generally when we think about dolphin, we think about very playfulness, right? They can easily, glide through water. They can easily glide through water, and yet they're very playful, right? I think that, so this again gels very nicely with what was, and you also have the dolphin. See, that's a nice thing about tarot, right? You also have the dolphin picture over here as happiness. So be very playful, and this also gels very nicely with this card over here. I greet everything. I trust life to be wonderful, right? So be very playful, be very open. Dolphins are very open, and so whatever you are doing, be very playful. Maintain that positive attitude. Don't get too stressed, don't get too overwhelmed by anxieties and all the negative emotions that can pull you down, that can really detract you. Don't let them pull you down, don't let them bog you down. Be very playful, maintain a positive attitude, maintain a positive attitude about do your homework, be wise, be like the owl. And if you do all that, the transformation is coming towards you. Transformation is coming towards you. So you are really changing from, this could be a very important juncture of your life. This could be really a turning point in your life where, you are, whatever you do at this moment is going to probably determine how your life will work out for the next few years, right? So again, there's a strong resounding message for here to go ahead. Don't turn back. Do your homework. Again, be wise, do your homework, do all the planning, upgrade your skills, do the learning, right? But again, don't hold back. So I hope that really resonates with you, group number 1, and all my best wishes for your oncoming endeavors. May God and the universe help show you the right path, help you make the right decision. If you do like this reading, let me know through comment, and don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Having said that, I will take your leave now. For now, bye. Hey group 2, for those of you who have chosen the second picture, this will be your reading, and we will try to see what's waiting for you in terms of your career growth, career path. How is it likely to change in the coming days? What sort of things you may expect, what you need to be aware of, right? And so we will start the readings with the general tarot and the oracle deck guidances, and then we will move on to these 2 dedicated affirmation messages that I have for you. And then, as promised in the introduction, I also have this bowl of charms. I will just pull out some charms from here and see if there's any specific additional messages for you, group number 2. So without wasting any more time, let's just move into this. I think group number 2, you have recently come across, or you may be still in the middle of a phase where, it's almost like, you're in a holding phase, you're in a waiting phase. You are in a phase where things are not really working out for you so far, or where things haven't been working out for you to the extent that you would have liked. So for example, the first card that draws my attention in the entire spread is this Hanged Man card. So we have this Hangman card reversed, right? And so this makes me feel as if like almost, you are coming out of that holding phase, you are coming out of that status quo where either things were not really working out, or it was more of a troubled time for you. It was more of a time where maybe before that time things were working out for you. Then you had to pass through these sudden doldrums, a sudden turbulence, where maybe things started going wrong, things started slipping because of different reasons. And I think the most likely reason that tarot is showing me is that there could have been some sort of issues in your personal front, right? Something to do with your relationship, right? So because I have this relationship change, right? Card coming up over here, right? So maybe there was something going on at the emotional front, right? Where maybe there was some conflict situations, in your family, or with your personal affair, in your relationship, right? Or it could be, I also have the Five of Wands card over here, right? So again, it could be also some sort of turbulence, some sort of conflict, anything to do with your family members, anything to do with your relatives, your nearest kith and kin, your friends, maybe in your workplace. So something that was really hindering your progress so far. And that's why you are really in that kind of a waiting phase or a holding phase, where your progress, your continuation on your career path was briefly halted, or was briefly stalled or slowed down, right? And now I feel like, whenever you are seeing this reading, it's about to change. You are about to come out of that holding phase. You're about to start your onward journey again. And I think what's going to happen is, clearly, when you are seeing this reading, there may be still a little bit more of a, you have to be still a little bit more patient for the total turnaround, for the total reversal of fortune. But I think that reversal of fortune is definitely coming your way, right? And it's bringing you a lot of success. It's bringing you a lot of positive vibration, lot of positive good things, right? Because there's a number of good cards over here. You have the abundance card over here that clearly talks about a lot of success, lot of glory. You have the strength card over here, the strength, the high priestess, and then the emperor card, right? These are all very powerful, very strong cards. And I think, obviously, you will move on to greater glories. You are going to move on to greater success, in your career path. Or, it may also open up new opportunities for you after having gone through whatever you had to go through for the past several months, or maybe even past several years. It has, because now you are much more strong. And I think what's coming out over here, especially if I look at this this High Priestess card, right? If I look at this High Priestess card, but you have this Diligence card. Right? It's like, when I look at these two cards side by side, it's like, after having gone through all that setbacks in the past, in the past, it could be several days, it could be several months, it could be even several years, right? After having gone through all that turbulence, after having gone through all that trouble, you have now emerged a much stronger person. Not only that, now you have it's like almost a bird's eye view of things. You have the bigger picture, right? That's why the High Priestess also come out. It talks about insight. You have a much greater insight of things. You have a much better understanding of things, right? So maybe, for example, if you had your own venture, right, it could be a small venture or a big venture, right? And maybe, you had to go through a lot of trouble. You had to go through a lot of the initial, that it says the birth pangs, right? Where, when you are starting something new from scratch, there's always that initial phase of lot of trouble, lot of pain, lot of worries, a lot of sleepless nights, where you don't know how your thing is going to turn out, and you're putting in all the effort, you're putting in all the trouble, you're putting in all your resources with the hope that someday it's going to really start paying a dividend, right? And so I think you have gone through that phase. So that is just one example, right? So in some of your cases, it could be that you had to go through that initial struggle to set it up. Now it is at a point where things are really looking up, right? Things are really starting to move ahead. Things are really beginning to roll ahead, right? And you are starting to get taste success, and that's what it is showing, that you are going to taste more glories, you are going to taste more abundance, more success. And so maybe initially you had to go through a lot of that conflict, a lot of the turmoil, a lot of that turbulent phase, where again, as you are trying to create a startup or some small venture, there is always that initial phase of a lot of turbulence. Maybe you have to run around for looking for funding. Maybe you have to run around trying to set up this and that, workspace, all this stuff, right? Every nitty-gritty has to fall in place before your venture can really start, can really take off. So I think so that could be one example, right? Obviously, the second example could be for some of you. Again, maybe you are bogged down so long by some domestic issues, by some conflict situations, maybe in your past workplace, maybe with your colleagues, maybe with your family members, maybe you had suffered in your relationship, right? And that had really sapped your energy, that has really temporarily halted your progress. But now you have been able to put that behind, and now you're ready to move ahead once more, right? So whatever it is, I think whatever has gone past, whatever is your past, that has really made you much more stronger, right? It has made you much more patient, much more stronger, much more someone who has more greater insight, who has learned to really keep things in perspective. And I think I think that's nicely summarized by this personal growth card. It has been really a growing phase for you. So again, going back to this Hanged Man, though you were in a holding phase, though you're in a waiting phase for so long, but I shouldn't say, it was a phase of stagnation for you. It may have seemed like, you were stagnating at times, but no, because even during that time, you are actually growing. You are actually growing, and you're actually acquiring strength. You are actually getting greater insight about life, maybe about what you want to do. Maybe you are also learning, picking up different skills. You're probably doing a lot of, value addition to yourself. Maybe you're getting into all those sorts of, the business tie-ups. Whatever it is, and this can take on different dimensions for different people. But the road forward for you will be much more brighter, will be much more easier. And again, you have abundance card. I've already talked about diligence. So diligence not only conveys the sense of getting an overall perspective, it also talks about you have put in a lot of hard work, right? So again, that hard work, resources, and now it's obviously, again, you have also the waiting card. So, right? So either, you have waited for some time, and again, it could also indicate that you may have to wait a little bit more for the things to really fully mature. It may have started paying dividends already, but it may still take a little bit more time for it to fully mature. Whatever endeavor, whatever whatever is keeping you busy on your career front, you may still have to wait a little bit more. You're almost there for those things to really fully mature. But then again, you have the Strength card, you have the Two of Cups card over here. Again, it talks about overall fulfillment, and not only that, it's like when you look at the Two of Cups and the relationship change, I feel like for those of you for whom this some issue with the relationship had created that temporary bottleneck, for you it could be that some new love interest or some new person who has come into your life. It could be also either a love interest or maybe some good friend, someone who you can trust, someone who has really proved beneficial for your personal growth, right? I think some presence like that may have also helped you turn around, right? And so that person may be also very instrumental in you going forward and tasting more success and abundance. And then again, you have a lot of good cards. You have abundance card. You have the Strength card. You have the Emperor card. You have the Peace card. You have the Happiness card over here, right? So a lot of good success, a lot of abundance, a lot of peaceful times is waiting for you. Is about to come in your life. That's going to prove. That's going to not only be financially. So you're not going to be not only financially successful, I feel like you'll also be successful in your personal life, right? And again, I have this card over here, the Healing Light, right? So it'll be a time for you for overall abundance, overall growth, overall healing, right? So whatever the dark time was, that's finally over. You have left it behind, and now you are ready to move ahead. And then coming to the affirmation messages, the first one that I have, it says, I am flexible and flowing. Right? And again, I think this tunes in very nicely with the Strength card, because one who is strong can adapt to any situation, good or bad, right? And even in the toughest of times, it provides, you are like always flexible, you're always looking at the brighter side of things. So it says, I'm open to the new and changing. Every moment presents a wonderful new opportunity to become more of who I am. I flow with life easily and effortlessly. Very beautiful card, right? Again, so I think you are someone who cannot easily be bogged down. So there may have been, again, despite whatever temporary setback you may have suffered in the past, or you may be still going through, it's by the dint of your hard work, it's by the dint of your perseverance, your spirit, your will, that's why you can leave it behind and you can again move forward, right? So that's actually the key to your success. It's your makeup, it's your mental makeup, right? Also, the second affirmation card I have is Divine Wisdom Guides Me. Again, beautiful saying. Divine wisdom guides me. I am guided throughout this day in making the right choices. Divine intelligence continuously guides me in the realization of my goals. I am safe. Again, very beautiful reading, right? And I think again, this ties with the High Priestess card. Is having that insight, is having that strength. I think whoever has your qualities, group number 2, they are bound to be successful in this life. There's nothing that can stop them really. There could be temporary hindrances, but whoever has that strong mental build, whoever has that inner strength, inner clarity, insight, whoever is prepared to put in hard work, for them the success is bound to come. It's just a matter of time. And there could be small ups and downs, and I think again, some of you, if not most of you, you may have just come across one of those small downward phases, but you're again on that upward trajectory, right? And so from going forward, from here, it's all positive for you. It's all going to be very abundant, very bright for you. And again, things may still take a little bit of time for you to fully mature, to fully fructify. But trust me, it's going to be all good from here onwards. Sorry, I had a phone call. Sorry for that. So now moving on to the more dedicated charms messages. Let me see what the charms have to say to you. Let me do my normal starring. Okay, I picked up quite a few of them. So it just says a lot of things may be happening, right? So first of all, you have the cross over here, right? I think this talks about, again, the divine guidance. I think you people may be blessed in a way, right? Because, and it's just because the kind of person you are. I always feel like if you have to be worthy of divine grace, then you have to also have the right qualities in you. Like, for example, you cannot expect grace if you are lazy or if you are not hardworking, right? But in your cases, I feel like you are hardworking. You have all that right qualities, and I think that's why there is divine grace in your support. And that's what even this card said the same thing, right? So that is this one, right? Then I also have this beautiful this is this talks about the tune, right? The music, the melody, right? It's like, again, this ties in very nicely with this healing light. It's like from now on, you'll be really in tune. You'll be really in tune with your inner working and in tune, with the divine guidance. Again, I think the message that I get from this, it again talks about the divine message, as if you have opened yourself up, right? And so your life will be a nice song from here onwards, a divine song from here onwards. Again, beautiful. Let's see what else is there. I have 2 keys. That's very interesting. See, I have 2 keys over here, right? That's again a very strong message that really shows that as if you have found the key. You have found the key to success ultimately. So you may have been battling for that for quite some time, but again, by the dint of your hard work, by the dint of your merit, by the dint of your perseverance, your sincere willpower, you've eventually found the keys to the hard work, to success and abundance. It's very interesting, very, very strong affirmation of what I just said before. And then I also have this card over here, the horse, or the horse. Again, it talks like, right now, you are like in that, like a horse, you're racing towards your success, you're racing towards your abundance. Again, a beautiful card, a beautiful message, right? So I think overall, these are all very successful. It talks about, to me, this one, I think it looks like, again, a cross, right? So I would keep this, similar to this cross over here. So overall, again, it talks about the divine assistance. It talks about you firmly on that road to progress, on that road to success. And it also talks about, you having definitely you have found the key to success and abundance. So for you, I think it will be largely smooth sailing for this particular group from now on, right? So very, very strong positive messages, group number 2. Again, wishing you all the best for this, and I really kudos to all your hard work, all your sincere effort that you may have put in, and your strength to turn things around. So having said that, I'm going to take your leave for now. I hope to see you in another reading in the future. And again, if you like this reading, do give me a like, and don't forget to comment and subscribe to my channel. Having said that, bye. Hey, group 3, for those of you who have chosen the 3rd picture, this will be your reading. So again, we will see what's waiting to happen for you in terms of your career path, your career growth in the coming days, what sort of things you need to be aware of, what sort of things are likely to change, what may be hindering your progress for the moment. So there'll be some guidance that should hopefully come out from this reading. So again, we'll first cover the general readings and general guidance that are presented through by the tarot and the oracle decks, and then we'll move on to the 2 dedicated affirmation messages I have for you. And then finally we will end the reading, with the charms. I will pick up some charms and we will see what precise messages or added messages comes up for you. So without wasting any more time, let's just jump right into it. Group number 3, I think you people have a lot of potential. You people may be also working towards something. You people have definitely in it. You people definitely have it in you to really taste success, and you may have been really working towards something. I feel like this could be either a change of career for some of you, or it could be something in addition to your regular 9-to-5 job. Maybe you are trying to create something. Maybe you are trying to start something, maybe a side business or a side gig. Maybe starting your own music band or starting your own YouTube channel, or whatever it is, right? Maybe getting that book published that you have been trying to really work on for quite some time. So there's definitely things are waiting to happen. Things are waiting to unfold in your life in terms of career, a new beginning. Obviously, I have this new beginning card over here. This one, number 1, right? A new beginning, right? Plus, you also have this 4 of Cups that has come out reversed, right? So again, it talks about some sort of a new beginning. You also have the number 10, the 10 of voice, the 10 of sword over here. So I see a lot of number 1s and number 10s, and then also you have the ace of sword over here reversed. Right? So definitely there's some sort of a new beginning that you have been working towards. Some sort of a new beginning that is waiting to happen, and that you have been really you may have put in quite a lot of work towards, right? But I feel like so far it has not really happened to that extent, right? So that new beginning, and you may have already got some indication of that new beginning, right? You may have already got some taste of success, but it may not have happened to the fullest extent, right? And I think what's primarily causing that hindrance is there may be some situation or someone in your life who may be pulling you down, right? I think it's some maybe negative influence or some negative aspect, some negative energy, or something that's pulling you down. And so because of that, you are not being able to fully dedicate your effort, or being able to fully manifest whatever you have been trying to work towards, right? Because I have the ace of sword reversed, then I have the letting go reversed, I have the moon reversed, right? So again, it talks about some bad luck, or some situation, or some things. Some obstacle or some misjudgment, right? Something that may have held you back, right? And so that's why you haven't been able to fully manifest that new beginning, fully attract that law of, the law of attraction. It hasn't really fully started working in your favor for so far, right? So definitely the message for you is, obviously, you need to let go. I think you're holding on to something, right? That's, if you look at this picture over here, this lady, she's like holding on to these dogs, who are tying her down. And there's clearly, once she lets go of them, there is definitely this bright opportunity. This is a new beginning in your case, that is waiting for you. But you need to first let go of these dogs. Now, these dogs in your case could be your own inner mental conceptions. Your maybe some people in your life that you need to create some sort of a boundary, or some things, some memories that you need to walk away from. And again, this will vary depending on each one of your situation, but I think this is what's holding you back, and this is what's also creating some confusion, creating some some disillusionment, right, in you. So you are not seeing, you have not been able to see things with that clarity, with that with that perfect understanding that you needed to. And that's why that illusion, that self-deception, or that trying to cling on to things, trying to cling on to negative people, trying to cling on to negative memories, that may have held you down for so long, right? And I think the situation is improving, right? Because again, the strong message over here is of that new beginning, right? And there is definitely a change coming. There is definitely, because again, the Ten of Voice or the Ten of Sword, and this will be the Ten of Sword in the normal tarot deck. So this has come out reversed. So again, it means you are beginning to slowly turn things, or things are beginning to slowly turn in your favor, right? And it may have been a slow recovery. It may have been a slow tasting of success and profit, but things are beginning to turn. So that victory against, or being able to move yourself away from whatever negative, whatever is not serving you anymore, I think that's happening for you. And I think one of the key things that you may be doing to enable this is maybe travel. I see the travel card over here. So this could either mean you need to physically move away from a place or a situation, again, that's holding you back. So that's really letting go. It could also mean that you have realized that, and you have decided to move away. So maybe a change in place, an actual change in place, a change in circumstances will do a lot of good for you. It's going to really help you turn things around. It's going to really help you see things with a greater clarity. I think that's what you need at the moment, greater clarity, right? Because again, I feel like there's some situation or someone or some people who are really acting to your detriment, and maybe their association is sapping your energy, or maybe misleading you, or maybe not letting you progress. So definitely, if you can, set some boundaries, set some mental boundaries, set some physical boundaries, move away. Travel will be very beneficial for you. So if you have some opportunity for traveling, if the universe is presenting any opportunity for you to get away, I would say definitely hold on to that. Don't let that go, or let that pass by. That's going to do a lot of good for you. And clearly the situation is going to improve, right? Because you have this card, the situation will improve. And obviously you also have the trust card over here, right? So there's a need for you to trust in providence, and trust in divinity, the trust in the inner working of the universe. I think this was a phase, but this phase is now slowly passing by, and is bringing in a more positive phase for you. Because again, on the plus side, I see the Two of Cups over here. The Two of Emotions, which in the normal tarot deck will be Two of Cups, right? I see Two of Cups over here, plus I have the Queen of Materials over here, right? So again, this not only talks about the overall better situation, overall better success, more victory, more happiness coming in your life, but it also talks about more security, more overall security, right? Because Queen of Pentacles, the Queen of Materials is really the Queen of Pentacles, right? It's a more stable person, right? Very kind, very nurturing someone. Now again, this could also be because I see the Queen of Materials and I see the Two of Emotions or Two of Cups. It could also be, if your growth has been hindered by someone very close to you, whose negative attitude, their negative emotions, if he or she or they have been instrumental in really pulling you down so far, I feel like you can come across someone or some group of people who may share your interest, who may may act as your true friend. Now, it could be some real true love interest, right? Someone walking into your life, someone different, someone who whose energy is more in tune with your energy, who is there to really provide a supporting hand, provide a helping hand for you, right? So that can really help you get over this negative association, the other negative thing that are currently pulling you down, that are holding you back. And again, in this case, travel can play a big role, because maybe traveling to a different place, you are going to come across this another person who will be instrumental in you being able to turn things around, right? So I think what right now is needed most in your life is getting that greater clarity about what is that new beginning and how you want to proceed, and whether you want to let the current condition persist or you want to move away from that, right? So that putting some mental and physical barriers, moving to a new place if that's possible, right? And once you can do that, I think definitely again you have the Queen of Materials and the Queen of Pentacles, right? You have the Happiness card, this card over here. Now this Happiness card has interestingly come up in all the 3 readings so far, right? So this again, in your reading also it has come out. So you have the Happiness card, you have the Queen of Materials card over here, you also have the Two of Emotion, which again talks about success and victory, plus you have the Ten of Swords reversed. So definitely things are moving, and things are moving on the positive side for you. There is new beginning. And again, you have the Forgiveness card. So again, whoever it is, whatever it is, you need to forgive and forget. That is a strong message for you, group number 3. You need to forgive and forget that, because if you look at the picture that you have chosen, number 3, that also tells a lot, right? Because if you see that, it seems like you are starting from a point where it's more shadowy, it's like more darker, more cloud covered. And then if you look ahead, it's all bright and very blue and very green, a lot of abundance, a lot of success, a lot of happiness, right? So you're starting from a point where it may not be all looking so hunky-dory, so positive, but your way forward is suddenly very promising, is suddenly very more positive, and things are beginning to happen. And again, there's some things that you need to do, if you can do, that is put a closure on the past, move away from those people or those situations that are really sapping your energy, that are really acting as though those negative vibrations. Move away from them. Go for a travel, short distance or long distance, doesn't really matter, as long as it helps you get away from those people or those circumstances, right? That's one thing. And secondly is getting a clarity. And I think I would say the clarity is more important, because once you get the clarity as to what you must do, and sometimes in life, we have to take those steps, that may be apparently painful in the short term, but in the longer term, which will be actually a blessing for you. So in your case also, you may have to move away from some people who you may have still some attachment to. It's like this woman, this woman, she still is attached to those dogs, right? So again, there could be some people who are not acting in your best interest, but you still feel some attachment to them, like some emotional attachment, but you need to probably cut that cord and move ahead. And again, if you do that, it's not going to be really more helpful for you in terms of your overall success, healing, happiness, right? And it will also help you get that other new partner who I talked about briefly, right? Maybe someone else is waiting to walk into your life, step into your life. Maybe a good friend, maybe a good well-wisher, right? Maybe a new love interest in some of your cases. But you have to give that opportunity. And again, so things are very bright for you, group number 3. Again, if you look at your picture, and and divinity is there, so you need to trust in the working of the divinity. So the need of the hour is forgive, forget, and move on. Forgive, forget, and move on. That way, you can make that new beginning happen in your life much faster. It is waiting to come into your life, but you have to allow it to come. You have to allow it to manifest fully. The faster you allow that, that's the faster it's going to take place in your life. Sorry. So now moving on to the affirmations, I think, and again, strictly in terms of career, it's like you may have some aspirations. I think this is what I started with, right? So you may have some aspirations, some dreams that you have started working on, either your primary venture or some side venture. But you have made some progress, but there's probably some more ways to go before you taste the success to the fullest extent. So again, the sooner you can set things right, excuse me. Actually, let me drink some water, because I think I have a. Sorry for that, all that talking. Yeah, so I think it's like once you can move away from the situation, once you take a break, maybe do some introspection, maybe go for a temporary travel, go to a temporary some place nearby, and ask yourself really what you need to do at this point, how you can alleviate the situation, how you can come out of those people or those things, right? It could be also your own mental blockade, some mental thought process, some lack of clarity. Now, even to get that clearer conception, and you need to take a short break maybe, right? And then do some introspection. So finally, so moving on to the affirmations, it says, my life is a mirror. The people in my life are really mirrors of me. This affords me the opportunity to grow and change. So I think what's happening over here is, to me, this is what this is saying is really kind of deep, because and you may have heard this, right? It's often said that how we view the world, how we conceive of this world or certain situations is basically our own mental projection, right? So it's like if we, you must have often heard this saying that, seeing through a colored glass or seeing through a colored prism, we tend to view at world, through our own colored glasses, our tinted glasses, and our glasses are tinted in the same color that colors our perception. So it's our mind that projects a certain image of this world and of the people around us. So it's again coming back to what I had mentioned earlier. It could be your own mental perceptions, it could be your own mental baggages that you need to really get rid of, that you need to really work with. So this situation, whatever you may be going through, it's really showing you that there are certain mental baggages that you may need to deal with, right? And this is really allowing you an opportunity to grow and to leave those mental baggages behind. So again, it could be some actual people, or it could be some circumstances and your mental issues that you need to really come to terms with. Right, so that's the first one. And second one is I see clearly. So very next to this. So this one really talks about that more of a clouded vision, that lack of clarity. And then very next to that is saying, I see clearly. I willingly forgive. I breathe love into my vision, and I see with compassion and understanding. My clear insight is reflected in my outer sight. Very nice, right? So again, it basically says, once I have been able to forgive and forget, once I've allowed that new beginning to come in, right? Once I have achieved that clear clarity, I've got a clear insight, then my clear clarity, my insight will also help resolve my outer situations, right? Reflected in my outer side. So that is the essence of this whole reading actually, group number 3. So essentially, your future is bright, your career path is looking bright, right? It's just that whatever you may be going through temporarily that is not allowing you to manifest that to the fullest extent that you are deserving of, it's all maybe largely your own doing, or the how you are looking at things, how colored your perceptions are, and for that, and to move away from any sort of other negative energies, you really need to take a break, look inside, take a short break, right, or move to a different place, right, and then wait for, and get the greater clarity. And again, in doing so, you may get some other help of some other people, some another person. You may also find your soulmate, or someone who understands you better. Now finally, moving on to this charms message, let me see if I can get any other additional clearer message for you in terms of the charms. See. Yeah, love interest. Two hearts tied together. So definitely for some of you, I can say with certainty now that for some of you, definitely there's a new love interest that's waiting to come, right? And again, this may happen, if you move to a different place, you may come across someone who's more in tune with your thought process, who will probably help you, who's going to give you the supporting hand that you probably need most at this point of life, right? So definitely I see a soul connection, a love interest waiting to happen. And I also see this tree, right? Now, and again, if you look at your picture, the picture that you have chosen, the picture number 3, that also shows a lot of greenery, right? And this tree and the greenery, this all talks about, at least to me, it suggests more flourishing of prosperity. Green is a sign of anyway prosperity, abundance, right? So again, it's like you are waiting to blossom. You are waiting to branch out. Your capabilities are waiting to branch out, right? That is what the new beginning is all about. So you have to just give it that opportunity, right? And then I have this. It looks like some sort of like a mini maze. But what I'm particularly attracted to over here is again this love sign over here, right? So it's like again and again, it's like re-emphasizing there's something related to your heart, some soulmate, someone who understands you will probably come into your life. And again, it doesn't even have to necessarily be, strictly a love angle. It could be also someone who understands you better. Maybe someone, and this love doesn't have to be a mundane love, right? This could be also someone who understands you better, even a good friend. Even a friend, friends love each other, right? That's a different kind of love, right? So the basic thing is some loving connection who can help pull you out of this and get you and provide that greater clarity. And then I have this seahorse, right? And when I think of seahorse, the seahorse, they can easily drift through situations. They can easily, so you have to be like flexible like that. You have to be able to swim against the current or swim with the current, right? Because seahorses, they're very adept in doing that. So the currents, for the time being, again, seemingly they may be going against you, but you have to learn to swim with the current and not against the current, right? So I think overall, again, the group number 3, these are some very positive messages. It talks about getting clarity, taking yourself away from that situation or those people who may be pulling you down, fighting with your own inner conceptions, your own inner demons, learning to see things in the proper light with the proper clarity, and then allowing the new beginning to come into your life and to blossom fully. That's going to bring an open up a lot of doors for you. And if you look at your picture, it looks very bright, very clear ahead, right? So hope this resonates with you. Hope this provides you some much needed guidance, my group number 3, and all the best. And if you do like this reading, again, don't forget to give me a like and subscribe to my channel. I hope to see you in another video in the future. For now, bye. Hey group 4, for those of you who have chosen the 4th picture or the 4th group, this will be your reading. Once again, in this reading or through this reading, we are going to try to find out what's waiting for you in terms of your career graph or career growth or career path, what you need to do differently, what you are not following, what sort of guidance you may need to follow, you may need to adhere. So that will be the reading, group number 4. We'll start with the tarot and the oracles and go through the overall message. I also have 2 specific affirmation cards for you. I'm going to go through that. And then, as promised in the introduction, I also have this bowl of charms. I'm going to go through this to see if any specific additional message or messages comes up for you. So let's jump right into that, right into the reading. Group number 4, what's going on with you? Rather than, I want to start this reading with a rather posing a question to you. It's like, what's going on with you? Because it seems like at this point of time, you are proving to be your own biggest obstacle to growth, to further prosperity, to advancement. I see like this is a group that is suffering from a lot of inner self-conflict, a lot of your self-imposed apprehension, self-imposed doubts. It's like you are either not sure about your capabilities, or you are getting that kind of a shiver before you are before you take the leap, right? So there's something. It's largely your mental setup, it's largely your thought process, it's largely your perception of things, and that's holding you back a little. It's not letting you move ahead, right? And for example, you obviously have the fear card over here, right? Straight away, it just shows, and I don't need to explain really this card. It kind of, it's very self-explanatory, right? It's like you are about to do something, obviously in terms of career, right? You're about to embark on something, but you're getting that last moment, that fright, the last moment freeze. You're getting that, last moment, all that hesitation, anxieties. Or it could be, it may not be even the last moment. It's like you're thinking of doing something, but you are not sure about yourself, right? It's like you feel like either you are not prepared, or you feel like, the time is not right, right? I think what's interesting is, you also have this card over here, not the right time. Now, this not the right time actually can imply 2 different things. One possibility is, again, going back to what I was saying earlier. It's like this group, or at least some of you, you have that tendency to dilly-dally, right? So I think a lot of you are looking for excuses to postpone things. You may be too happy to postpone things and not. So you obviously have, this may be the group, who make plans, but who freeze when the time comes for them to implement the plan or to set the plan in motion, right? So you may have big dreams, you may have this big aspirations and all that stuff, but somewhere or other, I feel like when it comes to actually implementing it, when it comes to actually giving shape to that dream, right? You get that hesitation. You suffer from that lack of self-conviction, right? And because of that, I also see a lot of inner turmoil. lot of inner, that conflict that's going on inside your mind. So I think there's definitely a need for good decision making. There's definitely a need for, see, what's interesting in your case is there's 2 justice card has come up. There's one over here from one tarot deck, and this is another one from the second tarot deck. This is from the Muse tarot, and this is from the other tarot deck, right? So they have 2 justice card, and the justice card, it talks about not only that getting that inner harmony, the inner balance. I think that's really lacking for this particular group. And when that inner harmony, that inner balance is lacking, when that inner clarity is lacking, obviously your decision making is going to hamper, is going to suffer, right? And when you cannot make the proper decision, then obviously that's going to further enhance your fear, further enhance your anxieties, right? It's like a positive feedback is happening, right? Because you are too afraid, because you are too anxious, because you are too self-conflicted, you cannot make a decision. And when you cannot make a decision, that's in turn further enhancing all your negative anxieties, negative fear, apprehensions, and all that stuff, right? And so as a result, what's happening is you keep postponing stuff, you keep postponing the different career moves. Like for example, if you want to sit for a particular exam, or if you want to take up a set of courses to upgrade yourself, or to maybe to appear for a competitive exam, to appear for a job, or maybe to appear for job interviews, or some other things, whatever it is, or maybe before setting up your own venture, you are getting a cold feet, right? So that's one of the strong messages I'm getting over here, right? And the second thing is also could be that this applies to another section of you. It could also be that you have progressed on whatever you want to do, right, on your career path, and it could be that maybe because you are progressing, or you have taken the plunge without adequate preparation. So your action so far has been largely based on impulse and largely based on improper decision making, right? And that's why things may have happened, or things may have turned out in a way that has really caused some sufferings, caused some anxieties in you, right? And that's preventing you, and that is now really making you think twice. That is now really making you question yourself, like whether did I do the right thing? Maybe this was not the correct line of profession for me. Maybe I didn't make the right decision by switching to this. Maybe I should have been doing whatever I was doing earlier. Maybe this was not a good move. I made some mistake. Yes, you may have made some mistake. Maybe there was some flaw in your decision making. Maybe there was some flaw in your planning. But let that not bother you. Let that not put you down. There's obviously a need for you to think properly. And again, for this particular section of people, I think the message is, yes, it may not be the right time for you to expect the level of success or the level of turnaround, dividends that you may be hoping for, right? But that doesn't mean everything is over. It's just that the time is not right. You also see the Knight of Materials. This is the Knight of Pentacles. This talks about most slow and steady progress, right? So obviously for one group, it's about even before starting the journey, you're getting that lot of apprehension, lot of fright, lot of self-doubt, lack of conviction, right? So for you, obviously, you have the tendency to dilly-dally and postpone things. But for this another group, it's like, it's in a way just the opposite. You have taken the plunge too soon without maybe properly planning, without maybe properly doing your homework. And now, once you've taken the plunge, you are realizing that probably you should have been more careful. Probably you should have been more matured about this thing. And so now you are having second thoughts. But for this group, I must say again, not all is lost, right? No need to be so bothered about this. Take your time. If you have realized your mistake, then see what needs to be done to move ahead, right? How you can do a course correction, right? And then clearly the message over here is not the right time to be a little patient, right? And slow and steady growth. I think slow and steady growth is, for you is the mantra, So again, for most of you, take the plunge. And if you have already taken the plunge, go on with it, right? Don't look back. Right? What all you need to do is, be convinced of your decision, do the homework, right? And once you have taken the plunge, have faith in yourself, have faith in your capabilities. Because again, the Ascended Master's card is over here, right? The Ascended Master, clearly, if your intention is correct, and if you're putting in the hard work, and if you have that inner conviction, surely the universe is with you, the Ascended Masters, they are with you, right? So get that conviction, and as long as you are proceeding slowly, gradually, with proper calculations, I see lot of progress for you. I see a lot of forward movement for you. And so definitely again, if you have the Six of Swords over here, reversed. So, and then very next to that, you have the going forward card. Right. So again, the Six of Swords reversed, it talks about really a regressive movement. It's like, you want to roll back whatever you may have achieved, or you want to go back. That's what I was saying, right? So if you have taken the plunge, if you're on a career path, if things are not turning the way they are supposed to so far, you may be thinking of going back. You may be thinking of abandoning it. Don't abandon whatever you have done so far. Keep moving, going forward. Rather than going backward, it is time for you to go forward. The same thing, again over here, it's not the right time. This tendency to always dilly-dally and postpone and to create excuses for yourself. Stop that approach. Right. I also see the Ten of Wands card over here, reversed. Again, it's the same thing. It's like a lot of that inner self-imposed these issues that are haunting you. Self-imposed difficulties, self-imposed intrigue, contradictions, that's like haunting you, right? So you need to come out of that. So a couple of things are needed, this group number 4. One is a clarity, being able to see the bigger picture. Okay, I want to achieve such and such things. For example, if I say, I want to create my side business, or I want to sit for that exam, a particular exam. Once I have set my mind on that, next step is, okay, what do I need to do? What are the requisite things that I must follow to either open my venture or to sit for a particular exam? If I'm sitting for a particular exam, okay, this is the particular course curriculum I need to follow. What is the time that I need to set aside for preparation, right? I should do my research. I should make sure that every day I'm setting aside certain amount of time to prepare for that exam. Again, same thing. If I'm setting up a venture, who is my market? What is the demand of my market? Do a market analysis, a market survey, right? Look as to how you can properly package your product, how you can properly market your product, if your product is satisfying a particular niche. These are the kind of things that you need to do. And once you have done all, and again, these are just 2 examples. This applies to whatever career choice you make, whatever career you're involved in, right? Whatever things you are doing. It's all about you doing your planning, putting in your hard work, and having that inner determination, inner conviction, right? So a couple of things you need to avoid, all the negative energies. Impulsive action, right? If you have set your mind and if you have set your heart on achieving something, put in your hard work, have that clarity, be mature about it, right? Don't have second thoughts. Keep putting in the hard work. In your case, especially, your slow and steady progress. Remember that the hare and the tortoise story, right? The slow and steady wins the race. That is very true for this particular group, because if you look at your picture also, right, your picture also kind of tallies with this. The picture shows a man who slowly, is taking the stairs up. And as you're taking the stairs up, there is more and more progress, there's more and more advancement, there's more and more success waiting for you. But it is still the stairs. You have to still do the work to climb up those stairs. For you, it is not the elevator. Maybe for some people it is the elevator. And if you're following those people for whom it has been a smooth upward ascent, then you are following the wrong people. Because remember, 5 fingers are not the same. So whatever applies to this finger may not apply to this finger. So if you are following this finger being this finger, then you are following the wrong example. And that's what's going to cause you a lot of trouble. You cannot follow another person. You have to follow your own approach, whatever is best suited for you. Right? So for you, I see group number 4, you have to have that self-belief. And you have to believe, that your path, you have to have a lot of patience, a lot of diligence, a lot of self-belief, and be assured that your path will certainly lead you to success. It's just that you have to do your work, you have to put in your work, you have to climb up those stairs. But as you climb up the stairs, you are going to keep tasting success. This is the message of tarot. And in fact, if you look, and I think now is the right time to come to one of the affirmation message I have. See what it says. My income is constantly increasing. This matches very well with the picture that you have chosen, right? And this is what I just said. Your income, your success, whatever is the measure of your success, right? You will see that it's gradual, but it's continuously increasing. It's continuously it's something, or maybe the universe is like continuously prodding you to move ahead, and not look back. Because for you, looking back and regressing on the path is failure. You cannot afford that. You have to move forward. Right? So you have to shed off all lack of self-belief. You have to shed off all fear, all anxieties. You have to shed off all that, that attitude to all procrastination, right? All inner conflicts, and move forward. And if you believe in that steady and slow but gradual and sure progress, then you will be on the proper path. My income is constantly increasing. I begin now, today, to open myself to ever increasing prosperity. Beautiful message. And the second affirmation I have is, I am totally adequate for all situations. So yeah, you have it in you. You have probably all the skills. You have probably all the requisite talent, the background, the experience to move ahead in your career. But it's just that your inner thought process, it's just that your impulsive action, your impatience, right? Maybe that's what's really hindering your progress, right? So it says, I am one with the power and wisdom of the universe. I claim this power, and it is easy for me to stand up for myself. I think this message also resonates with this Ascended Master's card, right? I'm one with the power and wisdom of the universe. So it's really like, if you think of it in that way, that yes, the power of the universe is working through me, the Ascended Masters, or God, or divine beings, whoever you choose to believe, they are with me, they're walking through me, they're working for me. As long as I put in my hard work, right, the universe will also walk with me. As long as you have that self-belief, nothing can stop you. And again, look at the picture that you have chosen. It's like a steady growth. You are climbing the stairs, but it's also a continuous ascent. Right? So definitely follow your dreams. And again, I will draw your attention to the 2 Justice card. Right? You need to maintain inner balance. If you make inner balance, if you make good decision, nothing can stop you. And I think lastly, it's also about purification. I think why this purification card came in is because, remember, your growth or advancement in career, following what we just discussed in this reading, is not only going to bring you a lot of materialistic success, maybe a lot of money, maybe a lot of fame and name and all that stuff. That's important. But what's more important than that is, in a way, you are transforming yourself. In a way, you are going through a purification process. Now, what sort of purification process? It's a process where you are getting rid of all the negative energies. You are ridding yourself of all the negative perceptions, negative thought processes that can hold you down. What are the negative thought processes? Like confusion, doubt, impulsive action, fear, anxiety. These are all negative. These don't really serve you in any way, in any positive way, right? So that's what this is talking about. So be mindful of that, right? And then nothing can stop you. So lastly, I will come to my, as promised, to the charms message. So let me pull out some charms and see if I can, find any additional messages for you. Okay. A couple of interesting things came up. See, for example, first of all, I have the cycle. Very interesting, right? Because obviously, when you think of a cycle is not like a car, or cycle is not like a plane, right? When you think of cycle, if you have to go from point A to point B, if you take the cycle, you will surely get there, but it may not be as fast as taking a car or taking a plane. Now, surely some people are maybe taking the car, some other people who can afford it may be taking the plane. But just because they are taking the plane or they are taking the car doesn't mean you have to follow them. If you have the cycle, take the cycle. In a way, the cycle is a much better approach, because by cycling, you are keeping yourself healthy. And you surely know that you are going to reach your place. You're going to surely reach point B. Yes, you may have to put in some more extra work, but that's fine. So this again resonates with the overall reading, right? And then what else you have? You have the owl. The owl is a sign of wisdom. Again, wisdom, clarity, maturity, right? So that's what you need to be mindful of. Determination. If you have that inner clarity, inner wisdom, then obviously you will be more wise in your decision making. You will be able to purify yourself. You will be able to get rid of all these negative emotions. Butterfly. Transformation. Remember what I said about the purification, right? Your growth in the career path is not only in terms of career, it's also about you transforming yourself like a butterfly, purifying yourself by getting rid of or by minimizing all the negative tendencies, right? Again, so that's why the butterfly, right? The love, I think this is a love card, it's a heart, right? Heart, this symbolizes heart. I think to me more than love, it symbolizes heart, right? And heart means again, that inner voice, right? Listen to your inner voice, listen to the masters, they may be trying to communicate to you, right? Listen to your intuition, listen to your inner voice, have that self-conviction, right? And lastly, I have the wheel. Again, so this wheel signifies movement, right? Wheel signifies, again, the forward movement, go forward. Don't look back, keep moving forward, the wheel. Beautiful, I think all of them in your particular case, all of them makes really a whole lot of sense, right? So the cycle and the wheel both signifies movement. Yeah, you have to maybe, put in more work than others, but that doesn't matter as long as your goal is assured. It's okay, right? Because not everyone's path is the same. Maturity, wisdom, the owl, right? The butterfly talks about transformation. Same with the heart, inner voice, inner calling, intuition. Right? So I hope this resonates with you, my group number 4, and all my best wishes for you. Hope you find that inner courage and strength and you stick to that, whatever you decide. And again, I see only success for you as long as you stick to your path, right? So having said that, I will take your leave, and again, don't forget to like and leave a comment and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you hopefully soon. Bye. Hey, group number 5, for those of you who have chosen the number 5 or the fifth picture, this will be your reading. Again, so we are going to see what sort of things are waiting for you, or what sort of things may change, or what course correction you may need to do, what sort of guidance tarot can provide in terms of your career path, career growth, right? Again, you're going to first discuss the tarot and the oracle decks, and I also have 2 specific affirmation messages for you. And then, as promised in the introduction, I also have this bowl of charms, right? Lucky charms. I'm going to go through this to see what additional messages, comes up for you, what more precise messages. So a lot to cover. Without wasting any more time, let's plunge right into it. So group 5, sorry. So group 5, when you are seeing this reading, I feel like you are not finding yourself. You're probably not finding yourself in a very pleasant place in terms of your overall career prospect, in terms of your overall life, right? And I think, like, to you, it's like you are really lost in a way whenever you are seeing this reading, right? And I feel like there's couple of things that may have landed you in this position, right? See, because we start the tarot reading with this devil card, right? This what draws my attention straight away, right? Now, obviously, the devil card is not very positive, but at the same time, nothing to be worried about, right? And remember, tarot is trying to point out the things that you can correct, that the things that you need to work on, right? So it's good that it's showing some negative things that you can work on to bring yourself out of wherever you're finding yourself right now. Now, when I look at this devil card, and there's a couple of other cards that I'm going to go through soon. It's like, to you, as the picture is showing, in fact, if you look at the picture that you have chosen, it's like, you are finding yourself alone. You are finding yourself lonely, and the entire world, or maybe your surroundings or your workplace, or everything surrounding you is appearing like a maze. And it's not that, in a way, you are lost. You may be a loner, right? And nothing seems to make sense to you, apparently, right? It's like, so what's happening as a result is, because you are finding yourself lonely, and because it's becoming, it's kind of hard for you to make sense of everything, right? I sense that, you are finding yourself, you may be finding yourself a little bit cornered. That lack of inspiration, right? That so as to what you should be doing. Now, what comes up over here through this entire reading, I think the career is obviously the main theme of this reading, but it also talks about your personal growth through this entire thing. Now, because I have the personal growth over here, clearly, but then why is this personal growth important? Because in fact, for you to move ahead in your career, you have to first of all really work on yourself, right? And see the personal growth and transformation. These are 2 very important things for you, group number 5, right? Because what's happening over here is this feeling of loneliness, right? This feeling of finding yourself alone in a secluded spot, as if you feel like you may be feeling that no one really cares for you, or people may tend to ignore you. At least that's the way you may feel, right? And this is coming from a place where I feel like this may be true to some extent. Maybe it is the fact that you could be an introvert. you are probably the kind of person, who gets stage fright, who cannot mix with others easily, right? Who are too happy shying away from social gatherings, who cannot do any sort of networking. And so that's why for you, I mean, in fact, if you ask me, I was, and I'm still am, kind of like that. I cannot do any networking. I cannot really mix with people freely. Right? So I am still a bit of a loner, but at the same time, what I sense is a part of it, you have to probably take some responsibility yourself, right? Because I feel like this attitude can also come in because you may feel certain prejudice against others, right? So there may be there may be a little bit of an inferiority complex or a superiority complex. Either one of them working in you. So either you may be feeling that no one else is good enough to mix with you, and no one else really has the right knowledge or the right vibration to be suitable for your friendship. Or it could be the other way, where you may be feeling like everyone else is miles ahead of you, everyone else has a lot of skills, a lot of capabilities, and you are just not good enough. Either way, whether you are feeling worthless or you are feeling superior, none of them is the proper approach. And either of these complexes, superiority complex or inferiority complex, can put you in a corner. So you have to really work upon yourself. That's why the personal growth and transformation is so important, right? And also the devil card. When I look at the devil card again, it talks about those negative tendencies, that may be bothering you. And remember, negative tendencies are in all of us, right? We all are a mix of negative and positive qualities, negative and positive vibrations, negative and positive tendencies, right? Sorry. But the question is, do we really want to encourage our negative tendencies or thought process? Or do we really want to work on them, minimize them, and try to encourage our positive vibrations, right? So if you are finding yourself being lonely, if you are finding yourself, being being outcast, a social outcast, or if you are finding yourself, to be really at a corner, desolate, then you need to really work on that. And again, as I said before, even I was a loner. I'm still a little bit of a loner, but I have taken the time to, to try to overcome that, right? To talk to other people, right? Yes, I may still avoid certain parties, certain social gatherings, and I may, unless it is absolutely necessary, right? But wherever it is necessary, I try to at least force myself. I try to get that courage to go out there, because I know if I don't do that, the more I shy away from that, the more it is going to get to me, right? The more I'll be pushed in a corner. So I think that applies to you. And again, so you may be the kind of people who may be finding that your home to be the most comfortable place, right? And when you go out, the entire world, appears like a huge labyrinthine maze that doesn't make any sense to you. And again, as I mentioned before, whoever you meet, it may feel like either they are not good enough for you, or you may be not good enough for them. Right? So these are the kind of things that you need to be really careful about. Also, if you see over here, it says this Four of Pentacles is reversed, right? So Four of Pentacles reversed, you have the Three of Pentacles. Both Four of Pentacles and Three of Pentacles reversed, right? Now again, Three of Pentacles, it clearly talks about, you really feel the need for some assistance. You really need you're feeling that loneliness. You're feeling like, you can do with someone else's help, right? So be assertive. This card is very important, right? Be assertive. So if you're too meek, if you're too introverted, right? if you are too shy, again, this is what I've already mentioned before. Again, this ties with this personal growth, right? Personal growth and transformation. If you are too shy, if you are too meek, if you are, too much of a loner, shyness, being shy and being meek is actually not a bad thing, right? Actually, introverts, they have a lot of good qualities, and being introvert is not a sin. In fact, again, I keep repeating this just to emphasize that I am myself an introvert, and introverts have a lot of good qualities, right? But at the same time, because you should make sure that just because you being an introvert, you are not losing out on the opportunities. See, the opportunity card has come out reversed. The 4 of Pentacles is obviously reversed. 3 of Pentacles is reversed. So all this Pentacles card coming out reversed, and this opportunity coming out reversed, right? Plus, you have the taking step. See this card, taking steps, right? Also coming out reversed. What is all this saying? All this is saying that, this negative tendencies, this too much of shyness, too much of meekness, timidness, this it's like it's getting to you. It's proving to be obstacles in your career path. So you need to work on them. You need to be able to minimize them. You don't have to probably get rid of them totally, but minimize them. Develop a healthy confidence, right? So clearly there is a message over here that that follow your dreams, right? You have certainly some dreams, right? And you may not be able to fulfill those dreams yet, because also I have the 9 of Wands and the 8 of Wands coming out straight upright. Now again, because of all this, there's a lot of inner conflict going on. I know probably you are not very happy at all, right? You are in a space, and again, when I look at the picture that you have chosen, you are at a space where things are very gray, things are very dark for you. You are probably not sure whom to ask for help, right? And how to ask for help. You have a lot of dreams, you have a lot of aspirations, ambitions, but it's all being held back because of your perception of the world, because of how you are carrying yourself in the society, right? So definitely, and I will get to these affirmation messages later on, but I think when I get to this, you will realize that you do have the capabilities, you do have the potential, you do have all the talents. The only thing missing is that dynamism, that ability to conduct yourself properly, that ability to meet with people, right? So again, being introvert is not bad at all, right? In fact, being introvert, is a great quality. Being meek is also good. But remember, when you are in this world, you have to meet with others, whether you want it or not, right? You have to interact with others. In day-to-day life, you come across different people. So you cannot be too shy, you cannot be too coy, you cannot be too introvert. All the cards that are that come out so far, the Devil card, this lack of opportunity reversed, right? I also have the Leadership card coming out reversed. Again, I don't have to say anything about this, right? The Leadership coming out reversed again, obviously the kind of nature you have, the kind of people you are probably the ones who always want to maintain low profile, always want to stay in the background, right? You may be doing all the hard work. So it could be, for example, you're working in an office environment. Maybe you are the one who's doing all the hard work, but you are still missing out on the opportunities, right? Someone else may be taking your credit, right? You are probably the one who's doing all the hard work in the background, but simply because you are maintaining a low profile, you are not the one who's coming forth to claim the credit, is going over to someone else. And so you are losing out on all the opportunities. You are losing out on all the opportunities. right? So this is really hindering your career progress. And at the same time, so this is just one situation. Also, another situation is you are also afraid to take any other career alternative, right? If there are different prospects ahead of you, you are simply not comfortable, in jumping ship, in exploring other opportunities. Because anyway, no matter what you do, unless you can rectify those fundamental drawbacks, I shouldn't say drawbacks again, don't get me wrong, those fundamental things that are holding you down, that lack of self-assertiveness, that inferiority complex, or the superiority complex, whatever it is, whatever is holding you back, whatever is, putting you in a corner, you need to really work on that, group number 5, because that is the overall message. And suddenly I feel like you have your dreams, right? You have your capabilities, but you are simply not being able to put them, give any shape to them, because wherever you are your nature, right? And again, so there are certain things that are needed. So if you remember what I was mentioning earlier with regard to the devil card, right? If you're feeling a superiority complex, then come out of that, right? Try to treat everyone as your equal. Try to develop that, little bit of consideration, compassion for everyone, right? Treat everyone around you, come down from the pedestal, right? Try to shade that, feeling of, arrogance that may have crept in, right? And treat other people, in a kind, considerate, compassionate way. If you are feeling inferiority complex, then look at your capabilities, look at your qualities, and do a self-assessment. And see what is the fundamental reason why you are feeling, why you are feeling so, why you are so, why you have such an inferior feeling about yourself. Right? And again, you don't have to go out to unnecessary parties. You don't have to go out to do unnecessary, social networking and all that stuff. But at the least, you should develop the courage, the confidence to meet and interact with other people, personal growth. And again, you see the situation will improve. It is the assurance. This is the assurance from tarot, from the God and angels, right? The situation will improve. You will get there. You have the capabilities, but you just need to work on yourself. That's why I said at the very beginning, this particular reading for this particular group, it is more, it's beyond the career. It's beyond just about your career. It's about you. It's about transforming yourself. And again, I have gone through this stage, so it kind of rings a personal bell. It kind of really, this particular reading really talks to me in a way, on a more personal level. So I know what you people, maybe a lot of you may be going through, because I have been there. Right? And trust me, I used to feel like this, right? But I think I have covered a lot of ground since then, and I think I'm in a much better place right now, right? So again, I may not still like going to unnecessary social gatherings. I may not still going to go in with this large parties and all that stuff. But at least when it comes to talking to other people, if I need to do that to get the job done, I will not step back. At least I will try not to step back. Right? So that's the kind of courage, that's the kind of confidence you have to master. Group number 5. So that's the strong message for you. Again, you have to work on that negative qualities. That's what is being indicated by this devil card, right? So now before I move on to the affirmation, right? Also, if you're suffering from any depression, because there is a high chance that because you people are finding yourself in a spot, in a lonely corner, you may be suffering from depression. You may be suffering from some negative feelings. Try to come out of that. You may be feeling a lot of fatigue, a lot of weariness, because it's like, because there's always this feeling within you that the entire world may be acting against you. And again, this can be happening because of your own perception to an extent, or maybe because you are staying in the background and you are letting others take credit. So rather than dealing with it in a negative way and building up all that depression, all that anguish in yourself, try to correct yourself, try to develop more confidence. And if you have done something, right, interact with your teammates. Make sure that you have friends around you. Make sure that your work is getting noticed, and not in an unhealthy way. I'm not telling you to go into any sort of unhealthy competition with others. No, if you are doing anything, if you interact with others regularly, if you have that friend circle around you, right, then surely people are going to start taking notice of you, your contribution, right? So finally, I come to the affirmation messages. I will take up this one first. It says, my home is a peaceful heaven. Right? I bless my home with love. I put love in every corner, and my home lovingly responds with warmth and comfort. I am at peace. Again, so for you, your home is your shell, right? It's your personal space. As long as you are at home, you are happy, you are at peace, you are comfortable. But the moment you have to go out and encounter the world, that's where all the trouble starts coming in, right? So again, this very much gels with whatever I've said earlier, right? Now look, coming to the second one, see, this is very important. I'm totally adequate for all situations. This is the kind of positive attitude you need to instill in yourself. I am totally adequate. I'm not lacking in anything. I'm not any different from other people around me, right? Why should I be, why should I always stay in the background? Again, it's good to be humble, right? But at the same time, try to interact with others. Don't feel that inferiority complex. Humility doesn't mean inferiority complex. Humility is healthy, inferiority complex is not healthy, right? So do your work, be humble, but when needed, when situation demands, stand up, be a leader. You have it in you. You are totally adequate for all situations. I am one with the power and wisdom of the universe. I claim this power, and it is easy for me to stand up for myself. I will read this line again. I claim this power, and it is easy for me to stand up for myself. That's what's needed for you, group number 5, to stand up for yourself. Be assertive, right? Not to be arrogant, at the same time, not to maintain such a low profile that people may not even notice you. That other people walk away with your credit, with whatever you have done, what should have been rightfully yours, right? Neither extreme is good. Not maintaining superiority complex, not maintaining inferiority complex. Maintain a healthy attitude, a healthy perception about others, a healthy perception about yourself, right? Get rid of all the negative emotions, the negative, thought process. Feel always that you are adequate. You have everything that is needed for a particular job, wherever you are finding yourself in. It's not about your talent. It's not about your skill sets. It's not about whatever. It's not about anything that you may not have. You already have all the things that are needed, right? It's just about your thought process and your perception, right? So just about standing up for yourself. So come out of that home, transform yourself. Personal growth and situation will improve, right? Group number 5. So lastly, I will see what additional message is coming out for you through the charms. Let me see if the charm shows any other guidance to it. Okay, so I have the horse. I have the angels, what looks like an angel. I'm not sure what this is. Okay, and I have this tree, right? This is a tree of life in a way, right? So this tree of life, I will discuss first about this tree of life, right? This tree of life really talks about opportunities, blossoming. Right now, you're not letting your potentials blossom. You're not letting your true self blossom, right? So let it blossom, let your true self blossom. You may be wasting a lot of your inner talent, you may be wasting a lot of your capabilities, right? Let that blossom to the fullest, right? You have, again, I think this way ties up very well with this follow your dreams. Your dreams are waiting to blossom, let them blossom, right? Don't cover them down, don't put them down because of your negative thought process. I also have the angel, right? This is like an angelic boy. When I look at this boy, so for example, if you look at a child, why are children so dear to us? Children are dear to us because children, they don't maintain any prejudice. They are very innocent, right? They look at everyone, they treat everyone with the same love, same respect, right? They don't have any bias or any preconceived notions or any prejudice against anyone. That's the kind of thing that you need to maintain. Don't have any preconceived notions. You may be thinking that, oh, if I talk to that person may have he or she may have very negative feelings about me. Do you know that? Are you sure? Right? Be very open-minded. Or if you have some, if you have some superiority complex, don't come out of that. Be like a child. Be innocent. Treat everyone with same respect, same love. Right? Then you will see people will come to you. And then I also have this horse, right? When I look at this horse again, this horse, I think, and this the tree of life, it kind of tells the same message, right? It's like this horse, it's your potentials, it's your dreams, it's your aspirations. Right? They are waiting to start off. This horse is waiting. This horse is is impatient. If you look at I don't know if it's very clear or not. The posture of the legs, the positioning of the legs of this horse, it looks like he's impatient to run. He's impatient to get started. That's what you may be feeling yourself, right? You may be feeling that you have a lot of capabilities, a lot of qualities. People are not giving you due values of your qualities. People are not giving you due values of what you bring to the table. So once you work on yourself, once you get out of that shell, right, this horse will start running, my friend. This horse will start running. And so the tree will blossom. Your dreams will then will blossom, right? So again, be like the child. I'm not going to go into this one simply because I don't want to make any wrong interpretation. I'm trying to make sense of this one. What is this? So anyway, so even if I look at this three, the message is very clear. Right? So hope this resonates with you, my group number 5. I sincerely hope it helps you transform yourself, because again, it's more than the career, right? Once you get out of that negative, really it's about also a negative feeling about yourself. It's how you treat yourself. It's more than anyone else, how you treat yourself. If it's like, especially when you're having an inferiority complex, you are seeing yourself in very poor light. You are doing a lot of disrespect to yourself, a lot of disservice to yourself, your capabilities, right? So come out of that, and it's going to really help you tremendously in your career path. So that's all I have to say, group number 5. Hope this resonates with you, and if it has, then please leave me a comment, and don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, and I hopefully will come back to you in another video soon. For now, bye.